Peters, who developed some ideas on how organisations can survive and what they need to do in order to be a successful, excellent organisation. Um, Peters wrote a book called Thriving on Chaos and Dealing with Change. So his theories were based around the late 80s. He first started looking at this in 1987 and then continued to do this for a couple more years. So the main ideas that Tom Peters suggests is that organisations have to deal with change and have to thrive on chaos. So rather than being scared of chaos and trying to avoid chaos, they need to actually thrive on chaos. So Peters was an American writer on business management practices, and he focused his attentions at looking at the essential elements of teams and the motivation of teams. And he's written on how organisations can successfully deal with change. And like I said to you just before, thriving on chaos is what he suggested. And it targets 5 key areas. It targets or looks at how responsive an organisation is, how innovative, how much power the people have, and the leadership and the systems involved in driving that business forward or driving that change forward. And he stated that excellent organisations are those that constantly adapt and evolve to meet the changing needs of the environment. And he recommended following a strategy of fast-paced innovation, so fast-paced ideas and fast-paced thinking to effectively deal with rapid change. Now, Kathy, this would be a really, really good way to start your essay. In fact, all of you, it would probably be a good way to start your essays, because your essay is going to be focusing on change in a health and social care organisation. So what Peters is actually saying is that organisations that want to successfully change, they need to adapt and evolve to meet the changing needs of the environment. So a lot of organisations nowadays have had to adapt and had to evolve the way that they work to become more online due to social distancing. So if we take Kathy, for example, you work in a doctor's surgery. A lot of your patients before COVID would have had face-to-face appointments with their doctor. However, now a lot of those appointments are taking place online. So not only have your service users had to adapt to this, but also the organisation has had to adapt. Now, some people might think, no, I'm not going to move, I'm not going to change with the times, I don't want to go online. The fact of the matter is that organisations sometimes have no choice but to move forward. So they need to adapt and evolve, and they need to almost kind of like celebrate it and embrace the fact that things are changing rather than try to prevent them from happening. So this would be a really, really good way to start off your essays, by looking at the fact that Tom Peters says that excellent organisations need to constantly adapt and evolve to meet the changing needs of the environment. They can't just sit back and let things happen, because otherwise it won't happen. It won't happen effectively. Okay?